Well, good morning everybody. This is my first ever vlog. Welcome to New Zealand, just north of Auckland, a little place called Whangaparaoa Peninsula. And yeah, we're just heading off for a little ride up to Warkworth, which is about 45 minutes away, a little bit further north from where I am in Whangaparaoa. It's a little town where some family live, and they've asked me to pop up and give them a bit of a hand. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. It's an absolutely beautiful day, a little bit cloudy, but it's nice and warm, 17 degrees. It's September the 14th, so theoretically a little bit of spring, but yeah. Oh, just turned up to 18 degrees. There you go, how lovely. So the peninsula is just a little tiny peninsula that sticks out into the sea, so we can see the sea on both sides of us. There's a bit of a sea over there, and then down that way is down to Auckland. Yeah, you can see just down there a little bit. So yeah, as I say, lovely day for a little ride out. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm in between 50 and 60. I've been in New Zealand for 17 years, originally from the UK in sunny Birmingham. Well, I say sunny, not really, but you know, never mind. Yeah, 17 years in the health profession. And what a great move it was to move to New Zealand. What an absolutely spectacular, beautiful place it is. And probably the best move we ever made. Here with my wife and my lovely puppy dog. We were fortunate that my brother and sister-in-law live here as well, and my wife's mum and dad. So we've got a bit of family around us, and yeah, fantastic move. What a beautiful place to live. Nobody lives here. Hardly anybody lives here in comparison. I think we've got near enough 5 million people in the whole of New Zealand, which yeah, and it's a similar sort of land size to the UK. So you can see, you know, when I say there's hardly anybody lives here, there really isn't. Most of the people live in and around Auckland. I think there's just over 2.5 million, 3 million people that live in and around Auckland and the North Island, and the rest are down in the South Island. A couple of big towns are Wellington, obviously our capital city, and Christchurch, another big city a little bit further down on the South Island. Yeah, we're out and about on this lovely day. So yeah, we'll enjoy the ride. I'll pick up a little bit later once we've got off the peninsula and onto some of the main roads, and we can have a little look, see what's going on. In the meantime, yeah, enjoy the ride. Okie dokie, so we've just filled up at our petrol station in a little town called Orewa, which is our local seaside town. Just waiting for this nice police person to get out of the way. Yeah, so this is our local seaside town. It's very popular at the weekends. Lots of people come here for drinks and food, and it's just starting to spit with rain. No, that's not very good. Yeah, so lots of food places, and yeah, the weekends it's normally packed down here in the summer. It's a lovely long beach, probably about 3 kilometres of beach. Nice sand. It sort of runs out quite shallow for a long way, so it's good for the kids, and so there's lots of kids here. So a reasonable little surf beach as well when there's a bit of a swell up. But yeah, so as you can see, lots of little shops. Oh, smells great. I can smell these chips. So yeah, lots of eateries and a few bars and a couple of craft beer places, and yeah, it's a cool place to come. Really cool. So Orewa, just a little bit where we are, and yeah, as you can see, there's a few bikers about, which is good. Stopping and having a little bit of something to eat. There's all our local Hauraki islands out to the side there in the bay. There's quite a few islands just away out the way. And the bigger ones is, you can't actually see it today, it's a bit too steamy, but we've got a place called Great Barrier, not to be confused with Great Barrier Reef, obviously. But yeah, we've got Great Barrier, we've got Little Barrier Islands, Kowau Island, Motorikiriki, Motoora, Motorikiriki. Those are all heading up north, so those are nice little islands. Great fishing spot. Get out, do a bit of fishing, catch some snapper, nice fish and chip dinner, which is always good. So yeah, there's a little bit of Orewa, and we'll just head out onto a couple of little twisties heading up north, which is very pleasant, through a little place called Waiwera, which is another cool little place. We used to have hot springs spa there, but unfortunately it closed down, which is always a nice little spot to go and sit in a natural spa pool with geothermically heated water from one of the geothermals that runs out from under the mountain, well, mountain hill at the side. But it was always lovely. Go and sit in there and have a nice warm. We used to have movies on and all that sort of stuff, so you could sit there and watch a couple of movies. Don't you dare pull out on me. Thank you very much. Thank you for seeing me. Yeah, so we just come up to the twisties. Unfortunately, they've slowed the speed limit down through a lot of the nice roads through Auckland. Unfortunately, they've decided that it's a safer thing to do, which it probably is, but it's not as much fun now. So it's only 60 kilometres through here, so just over 40 miles an hour, so yeah, it's not much fun. Whereas these twisties used to be a little bit more fun, but a little bit further up it turns into 80, and that's pretty good. So yeah, we've got some lovely views from up here back over Whangaparo Peninsula, which is where we've come from, all the way over there. And as I said, just heading up north. So we're just coming down to a little place called Hatfields Beach, another little beach quite known for people to stop over and camp overnight. It's like a freedom camping area, so lots of people come and park up here and stay overnight, and lots of dog walking on the beach when the tide's out, and yeah, it's lovely, nice little place. A few people live here. Just out to the left there's one of the new developments that's been put up, and one of the many around Auckland and around that area. So yeah, this is Hatfields Beach, little boat ramp, and yeah, again looking out, so that's the Whangaparo Peninsula that you can see out to the very end. and that's more or less where we live, right out at the very end. The very dark bit at the end is a little place called Tiri Martangi. Oh, I'm glad I wasn't going too fast then. This police person's just had a... Is it the same one? Oh yeah, she didn't take long to pull somebody over, did she? There you go. Wow. That was good. I'm glad I followed her out now and then. Drop that visor down a little bit. There we go. So yeah, 80k through here, so yeah, don't look at my speedo. My speedo's a little bit out, but I've got my TomTom, which is a little bit more accurate, so yeah, we'll sit at a TomTom speed of 80k, so that's a little bit more accurate than the actual bike revolution of the wheel calculation that they do for speed, so it's always a little bit out. So, but still, this used to be 100k through here, and they dropped it down to 80, which was a shame because it's a nice road, and as you see, we've got a few more nice little twisties up ahead. Some nice houses up the top there for sale. I think the last time that place was up was about $4 million, but it's got a fantastic view out and over the Gulf, Aoraki Gulf. So yeah, very pleasant. We try to adopt roadcraft wherever I can. It's not always, but try to. Safe riding. They've got a really good system over here that you can. It's called ACC, and basically, if you have an accident, then ACC covers it. You pay for it in the long run, over with bike insurance and licensing and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, it's a very good. If you do have an accident, they pay for all your care afterwards, your rebuilding of the body, if you like, and they pay your wages while you're off, and it's pretty good. So that's Wairera. I don't know if you saw the signpost for the hot pulps, but yeah, part of that system is also that they do a course called Ride Forever, and there's a few places that do it, not just the one, and they basically take you from CBT right the way up through to advanced riding, and they go up right the way through to I think it's called AMI, Advanced Motoring Institute. But yeah, I've done my silver and my gold while I was here, so that was quite nice. Good courses, run by some really cool people, and give you lots of feedback. You know, you think you're a great rider, but at the end of the day, you can always learn something. And yeah, I highly recommend them. They're a great place to hone your skills, if you like. And it's not all about hooning around. It's just about being in, you know, right speed, right gear, right, all that sort of stuff. You know, cornering correctly, and so yeah, I advise anybody that rides a motorbike to go and do the course. It certainly picks up your awareness and helps out with your riding. You know, nobody's a fantastic rider unless you're one of the top, you know, racing riders. So we can all learn something. So yeah, highly advise people to go and do that. So we're just coming down to the Johnson's Tunnels, which is where the new motorway is coming out. You can see it off in the distance there. It's not fully open yet. It's supposed to be open beginning of next year, end of this year. I'll be surprised if it's the end of this year, but you never know. They've done a lot of work. Johnson's Tunnels, which comes underneath this hill here, was one of the biggest engineering things that's been done in New Zealand for a long time. The tunnel isn't very long. It's probably only about 800 meters long, but it was quite an engineering feat for New Zealand to build. yeah, so they kick us out onto the new bit of the motorway for a while. This road used to head off and go down that road over there, and when you're coming back it still does come back that way to go through Orewa, and then you can head down through the motorway. But yeah, they kick us out onto the new bit of motorway to start off with until we get to a little place called Puhoi, and then we're back on the main road. So this is State Highway 1, which is the equivalent of the M1, the M6 motorway in the UK. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So just pull out in front of this guy. Yeah, it's but then once we get out of this, then the M1 motorway turns into something a little bit different. It's a little bit like a, how can I describe it? A B road. Yes, that would be the way to describe it. A B road in the UK. But it's the main road heading up north, and not a lot changes on that road until you get right to the very top of the North Island, which is, I don't know, maybe 350 kilometres away from where we are. Yeah, so it's a little bit interesting. Still all the way down at 80 k's for the whole thing. Used to be 100k. So and I can see why there's been a lot of crashes on this road and quite a few fatalities, purely because of, well, I say purely because, it's not purely because, but at the end of the day there's lots of police out today pulling everybody out for not sticking to the 50-kilometre speed limit, so we better slow down a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of obviously wagons and trucks that head up north, and people get frustrated sitting behind a wagon that's going slow up the hill and then gets to an overtaking lane and speeds up to 80, and it's, yeah, or 90 or whatever they do, and you know, people get frustrated, so take risks and chances, and unfortunately they don't work out some of the time, which is a shame. But yeah, that's the way that it is. As you can see, some very big trucks, very big heavy trucks, lots of logging trucks and lots of animal stock trucks and that head north. So yeah, we'll slowly speed up to 80 once now we've got out of that. But it is a matter of just sitting and biding your time, enjoying the ride, enjoying the sunshine, and not having a hoon. There are some places around Auckland that you can still go and open up the bike a little bit and get it up to 100, which is nice, and there's some nice twisty roads, and mainly out over towards the west coast. We're on the east coast at the moment, heading up the North Island of New Zealand. The west coast's out over that way, so yeah, and that's a lovely ride. Lots of twisties, nice open road, great road surfaces 9 times out of 10. Obviously the main roads that are used by the trucks, like these roads, can get a bit churned up, but they do tend to resurface them and do look after them a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty good. Anyway, I'll shut up and we'll just enjoy the ride up. We're heading to Warkworth. So, in true first vlog form, someone forgot to charge or make sure that the GoPro was charged. What a silly mistake to make. Anyway, I don't know how much of the audio and video you got, but we're coming back through into Warkworth the opposite way. We've been up and fixed the lawnmower and put a new belt on for the in-laws, which was a bit of a struggle, but it was good. We've got it all done, and yeah, still a lovely sunny day, and we're heading back down the road into Warkworth. So some amazing views from up here, absolutely glorious. And this twisty bit of road coming up before you get into Warkworth is just lovely. You can get it cranked over, and there's a little saddle island just out into the front of us there, called Saddle because from the other side it looks like a saddle. Who would have thought it? Not quite sure of the actual name of the island, but everybody calls it Saddle Island. And this is Warkworth. This is where the hop pools were. There's a big regional park on our left called Wenderholm. It's got a lovely beach and lots of places to walk and walk up through into the hills up there. Very pretty. So yeah, the hop pools are closed, unfortunately. There was talk that somebody had bought them and they were going to do them up and turn them into a nice big complex and redo all the pools, and which would be great because we've not got any hot pools local to us, so that'd be nice. Yeah, tide's out as you can see. It's a nice place, Warkworth. It's got some lovely houses. So just coming up into these nice twisties that you can crank it over a little bit, and still within the speed limit obviously, but yeah, just nice to ride. Not very much so in the wet because they're a bit slippy in the wet, and they do get rock falls and that sort of stuff around here, so it is a bit dangerous, or it can be, but nice to get the tyres on the edge a little bit, so that's all good. As you can see, we'll come down the other way, we get some lovely views over Warkworth beach. Once we get through Hatfields and out that way, and as you can see, rock falls and slips, and which is a bit of a scourge of New Zealand. Been a lot of limestone, and with trees growing out of them they get too heavy for the stone underneath the limestone, which is only soft stone, and yeah, it all gets washed away, and once one part starts sliding, every part starts sliding, so it all ends up down across the roads with lumps and rocks and stuff. So, but yeah. Noise today for some unknown reason, I'm not quite sure why, but hopefully it won't pick it up too much in the helmet and you'll be able to hear what I'm talking about. So this is a local spot for the police to hang out now, because it comes down from 80 down to 60. It used to be a 70 through here, but since they've dropped it to 60, it's quite easy not to be able to slow down in time for the 60, and they're very keen to hang around here and ping people as you come through. Good place for camera vans to park up on the side of the road and get you. Today we look alright. So yeah, there you go. Warkworth in its glory, with the sunshine on it, and Hatfields Beach. A few dogs, a few walkers. Beautiful, lovely day. Lovely day today. nearly 4 o'clock, so a few people are heading home from work, picking the kids up from school, and heading home after a busy day. I'm on days off today, so that's quite nice. Unfortunately my lovely wife is working, but yeah, she's got some time off over the weekend, which will be nice. So there you go, Orewa Beach. Look at that, tide's out, beautiful. What a view, what a beach, lovely beach, nice sand. So we're just coming into spring, so things are starting to bud up, trees are looking a bit more green and not quite so sparse. And back through into Orewa. Quite a few of these places originally would have been holiday homes. Orewa was like I say, a bit of a seaside town, and a lot of people came up. So was Whangaparoa, where I live. It was just a holiday getaway. It was about, probably, oh gosh, before the motorway got on, it would take you a good yeah, probably a good hour and a half to get up there. So a lot of people bought holiday batches, but since the motorway's been in, it's developed quite quickly, and people are commuting now from Whangaparoa, Orewa, all the way from Warkworth and even further away, and I think that's probably going to continue when the new motorway opens. Yeah, so back through Orewa. Well, after the hiccup with the GoPro, I'm not quite sure how much you'll get of the original ride out, but we're pretty much back to where I thought we would be. So yeah, I'll sign off, and if you're watching this, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, first time out, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see what we can do, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, be kind to everybody, and yeah, see you next time.